Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're headed to El Reno to ride the rails, and after the break, we're going to be discussing the budget shortfalls in the state park system. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So El Reno has been in the news quite a bit over the last few years. They've really kind of taken upon themselves, much like a lot of small communities, we always talk about it, they're kind of rebuilding themselves and bringing back things that were old that are new again, and Hollywood's moved in, and they're really cleaning up the streets of El Reno down there.
They are. Today we are talking about the Heritage Express Trolley in El Reno, Oklahoma.
I said clean up the streets like we were talking about New York City in the 1970s, like Al Pacino or something's going to go down there, or Charles Bronson's a vigilante cleaning the streets of El Reno. I don't mean it like that, but I mean, the trolley's back in El Reno.
It's been there for a while, so we're not going to, but this is the only actual rail trolley in the state.
That's really, we say it a lot. I almost feel like if somebody made a Only an OK doll, one of the phrases that would probably be said the most would be, that's really cool. But it is cool. I like trolleys, man. When I think of the trolley, I think of clang, clang, clang goes the trolley, or
the Rice-A-Roni commercials.
Rice-A-Roni. You're forgetting the most important one on the Mr. Rogers show.
Yes, I did not forget.
Yeah.
I just didn't bring it up.
That's right.
So you can go a whole nother way with this.
Right.
The whole Heritage Express versus Hogwarts Express.
Oh, okay.
There is no platform 9 3/4.
Okay.
And even Muggles can ride on the Heritage Express.
It's an equal opportunity trolley.
But it's a real
trolley.
It is a real trolley, but I was going to say, and I'll probably get beat up by you after the show for saying, but it's very charming.
I thought you were going to say it's very cool. I like Charming is a good thing.
Yeah.
Charming puts asses in seats, and when you have a trolley, it has seats. And in those seats, you must put asses. Charming asses to boot.
So the Heritage Express Trolley was inaugurated in August of 2001.
Okay.
So this thing has been here for a minute.
Longer than a minute.
Yes.
Like, how many years was it operational before they decided to park it?
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
So this is new, and we'll get to it.
Okay.
But they specifically put it in to promote tourism in the town. As far as the rail system in El Reno goes, it was active from 1911 to 1946.
Okay.
El Reno was one of the terminus of the Oklahoma City.
Did you make that up?
No.
Terminus. I think of The Walking Dead. When you say terminus, I'm like, sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's like end of the line.
End of the line. That's right.
Right. So it was part of Oklahoma City's electric railway system.
I like electric better. Go ahead. Please tell me more about this electric rail. No, I can't do it. Go ahead.
So most of the tracks were removed after the land was abandoned, but there are some remnants of the original rails that you can see in different areas downtown.
Oh, yeah. You run and you'll drive over them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So right at London Street near the former interurban station is the building. It used to be a hotel, and now it is the Canadian County Historical Museum. Probably a whole separate show.
Well, and that's the thing. There's so many things happening in El Reno. They've got, and in fact, you'll actually, I mean, it's almost like a tour bus. It takes you through past they've got a bunch of really cool murals down there. You get to see I almost feel like you're going back in time almost, cruising downtown El Reno.
Right. I think whether you're a history buff or you just like unique experiences, or you're looking for kind of a different shopping experience, I think you're going to kind of get all of those boxes checked. As far as the trolley goes, it's a fully restored 1924 JG Brill Motor Car that's heated and air conditioned.
You had me in air conditioned.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry.
You can't do the heat.
You can't do the heat.
It's handicap accessible. It's a double-ended car.
Oh, cool.
So again, this isn't from 1924. This thing looks like it came out of a history book.
Yeah.
One of the things that El Reno's done though is they converted it from electric to propane.
There you go.
So clean energy. It's got 48 seats.
48 deluxe seats.
Dude, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And there's a single track that connects the historical museum at the former Chicago Rock Island Pacific Railroad Station with the downtown shopping area, Bickford Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get on board, and it goes all the way downtown. You can get off, spend the whole damn day down there.
Right.
And then later on in the day, just hop back on and go back to the museum to get
cool.
to your car.
They've come a long way. I've spent a lot of time in El Reno. I practically grew up there. I've had family that lived there. And every time I go to El Reno, there's something new. They're always doing something new and different. And they're like, we talk about this all the time. These small towns that kind of let their town just kind of fade into the history books. El Reno, again, doing quite the opposite. I mean, every time you turn around, there's a new movie being filmed there, or a new shop or a new restaurant. And it's growing by leaps and bounds. And I think this trolley system is great for tourism. I mean, it's a great idea.
Agreed. And it's cheap.
Cheap.
$3 for adults.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this is like going back in time. I swear I don't think that I want to go on it unless I'm in period costume.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's important to be, wearing a bowler cap and an old-timey suit to get on board.
Well, and that if you're doing that, I'm probably going to be the kid that's like stealing an apple off of the fruit stand.
It's cheap, though.
Yeah.
Adults, $3. Seniors, children, 12 and under, $1.50.
El Cheapo Depot.
Yes. And to go into the museum at the beginning of the trip, it's $3. Free.
$3. I have $3 right now.
We can afford to go right this second.
You could go right now.
But they're closed.
They are. There are a lot of things you can do in the state of Oklahoma that cost you a small fortune. To me, bang for your buck, $3 or $3, this is ultimately the way to go. I like how they're putting infrastructure back. Go ahead.
It's a real experience, and even with the money aside, it's ridiculously cheap.
Right.
But even discounting that, it's a real experience in the state that you're not going to find anywhere else. So go do it.
Yeah. Again, love what you're doing, El Reno. But coming up after the break, we're going to talk about some budget shortfalls that might affect our state parks. Stay tuned. I got the news the other day. No more child tax credit. They done gave us all the money they're giving us. So the only thing I've looked forward to now is I have a new child that I can claim on my real taxes. Hopefully that will offset the loan amounts that I took. You know what I mean? The earnest money that I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, it is definitely more complicated. And it's getting more complicated all the time.
Yeah.
Every time that Washington
takes a lunch break.
every time they put pen to paper, it's an extra 700 pages of tax rules.
Oh, yeah.
Every time tax season comes along, you need to be consulting with an expert.
Absolutely.
And the experts that we prefer are our friends over at Holiday Tax Group. They're family and locally owned and operated since 2010.
It's a long time.
They give a 20% discount to all military and teachers. And you can get a free consultation by giving them a call at 405-730-3100.
Or on the web at holidaytaxgroup.com.
We don't do a lot of negative stories.
We try not to.
There's a lot of positive to focus on.
There really is.
In the state.
But. I feel a but.
There
big
is a
old
but.
Come
so
behind this.
The news story that we're discussing today is an editorial from the Tulsa World. Legislature needs a real fix for state park systems, not just roadblocks to closures.
Right.
In October, the director of the Oklahoma Department of Tourism and Recreation told state senators that as things currently stand, the agency will need to scale back the park system and either close or sell some of the state's golf course and lodges.
That is steep, because there's a lot of these resorts, Romano's being one of them. There's a freaking golf course right smack dab. I mean, it's right there in the state park.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge draw. I know a lot of people. I'm not a golfer, but I hear tell there's a lot of good golf played out at Romano's, for instance.
My personal opinion, this is an issue with the state legislature and not an issue with the state park system.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the state parks don't do anything wrong, but the funding for the state parks has been an issue for a long time. And even despite the fact that we just instituted the new admission fees and that there have been a whole lot of revenue generating measures taken, the state legislature has neglected the state parks.
Yeah, and it's such a sad story because, a few years ago we talked about when they first discussed instituting fees and putting up gates and closing everything down, and we thought, surely this can't be real.
Right.
And now we've come in just a short time to now we're spinning our wheels trying to figure out where the money's coming from.
Well, we've talked about it plenty of times.
Yeah.
The state last year has generated a ridiculous amount of money in revenue around tourism.
Yeah.
Well, a big chunk of that comes from the state parks, but we tend to focus on the flashier stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Thunder, basketball, OU football.
Mm-hmm.
We
the big ticket, big picture stuff.
Right.
Right.
The state parks are integral, though, in bringing people into the state.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know how many times you've been to the lakes south of I-40, but as soon as you get half a mile past I-40 in the summertime and you go to a lake, guaranteed you pull up, there are 150 freaking cars from Texas there.
Oh, yeah.
You go north of I-40, there are 150 cars in every parking lot from Kansas or Missouri there.
Right.
Those places draw people in. Mm-hmm. When they're here, they do other stuff.
Yeah, they spend money everywhere else. Yeah.
So I think it's super important that we continue to push the legislature to spend wisely when it comes to the park systems.
There's a stat. 11.7 million people visited state parks in 2020. I mean, put a dollar amount to that. I mean, I don't understand how we can't, I don't know. Again, like you said, it's not, state parks aren't a low-hanging fruit, as they refer to it. It's not, you know what I mean? It takes a little bit more. It takes a little bit more focus. We're more concerned with the river walk, like you said. But people come from, you always talk about the tri-state area, but you're right. They come from all over. Mm-hmm. There's some of the best fishing in the United States. There's some of we could go over the statistics about how many miles of shoreline there are, continuous shoreline in Oklahoma. But the fact remains, it is a draw. I don't understand. What are you missing? Is it because you don't like a boat? I mean, I don't know.
I think for too long, we neglected it because there was a big ticket. There were big ticket prices involved. We've let a lot of the state parks kind of deteriorate over time. Now that tourism is a burgeoning segment in the state, now they're saying, well, what do we need to do to get things up to par? And we're like, well, you haven't given us any money in 25 years. Right. So we've got about 25 years worth of things to make up for.
Yeah, we're playing catch up right now.
Right. So, that's not being taken into consideration as far as I'm concerned.
In government, there's not a lot you can do past a certain point. But what you can do, and we've seen it work, is contact your local legislatures. Be in their face. You know what I mean? That's the way local government operates. They do a lot for the fans. You got to be in contact with them. You got to tell them what you want.
Not only that, but they need to think about this logically. Yes, there are some big ticket items. There's some big attractions in our state now, but these things have a cascade effect to the communities around them. Mm-hmm. Every lake's got, a couple dozen small little bait shops or gas stations that depend on the traffic from the state. Those places all generate revenue that goes to the state.
Absolutely. It goes right back.
And for every one of those, there's some, there's boat repair guys or, whatever. There are tons of businesses that are tied to these parks.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people, even in your off seasons, you go through some of these parks. Wichita, the Wichita Wildlife Refuge. Tons of people come from all over to drive up a mountain and take a picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it doesn't seem like it makes an impact because it's not a seat and a beer and a popcorn and a turkey leg.
Right.
But it's a big deal to a lot of people.
It really is.
A lot of memories are made that way. I don't know. Sounds corny, but I've made less memories at a sporting event, and nothing taken away. And I've been in my fair share. I've made more memories at the top of a mountain looking at a horizon. I don't know. I feel like allocation. We're not putting our money, I don't know, we're not filling the right, I just don't think we're filling the right buckets, honestly. Well, if you want to get involved, as I said before, contact your local legislature. That's the best way to do it. And if you want to get involved with the Only in OK show, it's really easy to do, Harley, right?
Yeah, just follow us on your social media platform of choice, whatever that is.
We're everywhere.
And if we're not, if you're on a social media platform and you're like, hey, you guys aren't here, email us, OnlyinOKShow@gmail.com. We will sign up to that social media platform just for you.
Every week, Harley tells me with this new social media platform I've never heard of. He's like, by the way, we're on Bubba Gubba Gum Gum. What the heck is that? Oh, man, we've got 100 listeners. I've never even heard of it. So get involved. It's the Only in OK show. New shows every week. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley. And we're out of here.
Peace.
Part of Oklahoma City's electric railway part of Oklahoma City's electric one of the things that El Reno did was convert it from electric to propane. One of the things that I don't know what is wrong with my mouth hole.
Peen. You're propane, aren't you? I'm all about the peen. I'm propane. Go ahead. I'm a big Van Halen fan. They were talking about this morning that David Lee Roth, he's been doing basically This Is It shows, retiring shows.
Oh yeah.
And they played a clip. He's canceled all of his shows through January into February. Probably he may or may not perform again. And they had a good point. They're like, the thing about these singers that you looked up to in the 80s, at some point you got to know. I think I love to listen to him talk. I've listened to him a few times on Joe Rogan. He's a hero in his own mind.
Yeah.
He speaks in riddles, and he's kind of, everything he says is kind of shabby-doo, whippity-bop-boop-bop, ice cream man, doo-doo-doo-boom, karate. You know what I mean? He just goes all over the place. And they had a good point. Like, sometimes you just got to hang it up. But they played a clip of him performing, and he's like singing to a backing track and like singing, layering his original vocals and stuff like that. It's hard to watch people like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to watch people that you kind of not necessarily looked up to, but let's be realistic. David Lee Roth in the 80s? Dude, everybody kind of wanted to be him a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to see the people you kind of look up to get old.
I think part of it is not necessarily getting old. I think part of it is
losing their touch.
No, not even that. Trying to hang on to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That period in their life.
Right. Leave the nostalgia to the fans.
Right.
Let us experience either again for the first time, or I don't want to experience, I don't want this to be your legacy, is me watching you, struggle or sing through vocals and hold the microphone out to the audience, not just because they can, but maybe because you forgot the lyrics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just hard to watch sometimes. So speaking of has-beens, I was looking at some video that popped up. Facebook has a habit of reminding you of the good times and the better times. You know what I mean? The wine and the vodka drinks situations. Yeah. That shirt hanging behind you, the Apache.
Yeah.
The day we went to Thunderbird to do the Oklahoma Octopus video stuff.
Yes.
I remember you saying, because I said to you, man, I think you said, do you have a shirt that's not ill-fitting? You said number one. Number two, do you have anything that has Oklahoma on it at all? No. Fine, I'll bring you a shirt. That was the shirt right there. I saw the video. I was like, where have I seen that shirt before? Holy shit, it's that shirt. And it looked like, because you're a tall guy. You're bigger than me.
Yes.
So it looked like I was wearing my dad's, rattlesnake shirt. It's kind of funny to look at. But you got all in the water, man. I would have never, no. I would not be crawling in the water. You went in.
Oh, I know.
Not knowing what's down. And you went underwater, and we should do a show on it.
Yes, we should. Unfortunately, it's so all over the place.
Yeah, there's not really anything that ties it to the ground. Honestly, it's not grounded in reality at all.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it is in the sense that real people perpetuate the story about a freshwater octopus.
Yes.
But nobody can agree on how it could have got there.
Right.
Considering Thunderbird's a man-made lake.
And there is, on top of that, it's not only that, but it's it's at the Thunderbird Lake. No, it's not. It's a tin killer. No, it's not. It's a, like...
Right. Everyone's got their... It's kind of like the legend. Everybody's got their Bigfoot story.
Right.
I mean, but at least with Bigfoot, the general consensus is wooded area, wooded area. Not every... Just because it's an octopus doesn't mean it's in every body of water.
Yeah, you don't hear, like, Bigfoot in surfing competitions.
Right. I think it was called the Palms Motel, right on the outside of edge of town. Right on 66, right before you get into El Reno. That was where they filmed the scene in Rain Man where Charlie Babbitt was giving him a bath and he had the freak out moment.
Yeah.
It was at that hotel. Remember that didn't happen all the time? You had to really dig to find out, oh, wow, that was here?
Yeah.
Now it's yep, there's I-40. Did you see the picture I posted?
Yes.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know if it's cool. We're going to be invaded by a bunch of T-1000s, or T-800s. Which one is it? Which one is it? The T-1000?
I don't remember.
Give me your cowboy hat. Give me your chops. Give me your apron. I don't know. Where would you get an apron? Home Depot? I think. I don't know. What would you do if the Terminator showed up with nothing but a Home Depot apron? This is how duos get more done. Come with me if you want to live. Terminator 1 or 2?
I think I gotta go T2.
T2 is a better movie. It really is.
I mean, T1 origin story.
It doesn't get a lot. People don't talk about it as much as they do Judgment Day.
No, I agree. I think T2 was a better movie, but I still have nostalgia for the first one.
There's a lot of you get a lot of the one-liners from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back. Give me a coat, give me a jacket, or whatever he says. Give me a jacket, give me a motorcycle. That was in the second one. But in the first one, he does the same in the bar when he first lands. So as far as, okay, real quick. Aliens.
AVP Requiem.
That's not on the list. You've been disqualified. You count that as an alien movie or a Predator movie?
Both.
There's probably some debate there. They're doing another Predator. This time, he wants revenge. He wanted revenge in the last movie, but it's different this time. How different, though? There's a woman protagonist. Keanu was the same age, and then all of a sudden he turned 50, and it was just like a completely different guy. Yeah. Speed, that's a good one. Point Break, a good movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot of talking for him.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's a great actor.
He's probably not. And that's fine.
But people love him. That's like, do we really want to pay him $20 million? It's Keanu. You're right. Let's give him $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to give away 30 of it to charity, and the other 10 million he's going to leave on the sidewalk, and somebody's going to find it. He's going to go, hey. You know what I mean? Like, I never, if someone came out and said Keanu did a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go, wait, what? Define bad. He gave away all of his money. Okay. That's bad. You can't pay for an identity crisis.
He's at the hospital paying for heart surgeries for underprivileged people, but he's not paying for boob surgeries.
Look what they did to me. Okay. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're riding the rails in El Reno, and after the break we're discussing the budget. I was going to say we were cruising, man. 3, 2, 1.